Hello, welcome to this new video. My name is Martina Vincenzi and I am the founder of the VIP Flight Attendant Academy Private Jet Coach. On today's video, we are going to talk about what happens when a VIP flight attendant on board a private jet feels sick and therefore not able to perform the flight. This is a question that I've been asked many times, and I don't know why, but it feels like for the outsider of the corporate industry, it feels like you cannot get sick and you cannot feel unfit to fly. Well, let me tell you once and for all, this can happen and you definitely have to stop. Okay, so nobody is expecting you to be a Highlander or the hero of the situation. If you feel unfit to fly and if you are getting sick, you certainly stop. You do not go to work. Obviously, you inform the company and they will apply the procedure that is supposed to be in place for this type of situation. So either if you are home and you are at the beginning of your duty and you do not feel fit to fly, you just don't go to the airport, you call and basically you call sick. And then the company will, try to see if another flight attendant can, extend the duty and maybe cover a few flights on the jet, or they will call a standby crew if applicable. Or if you are out for your rotation and you are on a layover somewhere in the world and you feel sick, again, you inform your captain, you inform the company, and you stay in your hotel. And the company will apply the procedure that is in place for this type of situation, like, for example, getting some help for you to join you in the hotel, like a doctor to come and visit you, or arrange some transportation for you to go to the hospital, or whatever is needed, okay? Always speak with the company and speak with your crew, keep your captain informed, and you shouldn't be left alone dealing with this, because you are part of a crew, you're part of an organization, and there is somebody helping you and covering you, having your back in this kind of situation. But certainly you are not required to fly if you do not feel fit to do so, if you feel that you are sick, weak, or not physically healthy and strong enough to cover a flight. Always also remember that whatever sensation you have on ground when you are in altitude is gonna increase like 10 times worse. So if you have a headache, like a slightly headache on the ground when you are, then flying is gonna become like a massive explosion in your head that you have to deal with. So even, for example, if you feel you have a cold, that you feel you have that kind of a foggy sensation because of the colds normally do make you feel like you are like in a bubble. Well, if you go fly in such a condition, it's going to be absolutely 10 times worse. Okay, so what happens then? You also have to remember that on board a private jet, in particular, when there is a single flight attendant operation, so you are the only flight attendant on board, and the crew composition, the full crew, is composed by 3 members, 2 pilots and 1 flight attendant. Well, in this case, the flight attendant is not a compulsory crew member that is a part of the crew. So that means that the flight can take place even without you, okay? So it might be that the pilots actually leave you where you are in the hotel and they just continue with the flights even without you. And what happened in this situation? Well, the pilot has to perform the service for the customers. My personal advice in this case, it would be beneficial to kind of brief the pilots either you as a flight attendant or even the organization you work for, to organize a sort of a briefing or, you know, insights on how the pilots can perform, let's say, an emergency service in such a situation when the flight attendant is for some reason not available. You know, we're talking about something, yes, elegant, something, you know, up to the standard of a private jet, but considering the limitation that a pilot has, which is he or she cannot stay out of the cockpit, out of the flight deck for a long time. So everything must be pretty quick and efficient, you know, rather than the sometimes very long time that a flight attendant can take in order to set up a table or to perform a service. If a pilot is doing so, yes, he or she should be able to perform, you know, a qualitative, high enough type of service, yet pretty fast and efficient, considering that he or she has to return back to the flight deck as soon as possible. That said, I would like to tell you a little story of a flight that took place where, again, yeah, the flight attendant has been offloaded by the captain because she was not fit to fly at all. You know, she reported for duty wearing a mask because she claimed she had this cold and she didn't want to spread you know, the germs and the bacteria out to the customers. The customers were going to be people from the company, very high management personnel, but, you know, inside the organization, plus one pilot that was going to be moved on that same flight, just to, you know, position him, let's say, free of charge, jumping on the private jet just to be taken from A to B, and then he was going to continue with his duty onto another aircraft. So he was kind of a passenger, okay, on board the jet. Well, the captain, you know, seeing this poor girl not feeling very good, wearing the mask, she claimed she had this very strong cold, her ears blocked as well. So he decided to offload her. He didn't want her to take the risk to damage her eardrums because of the pressurization. So he decided to offload her. And the funny part of the story is that he met with the other pilot, the third pilot, that he was going to be a passenger on board the jet. And he just told him, hello, my friend, how are you? I just wanted to let you know that on this flight, I'm expecting you to be my flight attendant because unfortunately, I had to offload my real flight attendant and we are uncovered for this flight, but we are flying the management. So they for sure are expecting, you know, it's a 2 hours flight. They for sure are expecting a little bit of a coffee, a little bit of a breakfast. So you have better to, you know, take your apron, just lace your apron behind your back and start, you know, wearing the white gloves and serve your coffee. So, well, this is a little bit of a joke, but nevertheless, this is the reality. This is how it happens. And certainly it could be beneficial if your pilots, at least they know where to find things in the galley and how to quickly, you know, deliver a little bit of a service. Again, bearing in mind that this is an emergency situation and they do not have a lot of time to spend in the cabin because they have to go back to the flight deck as soon as possible. Well, I hope that this can clarify how to behave, what to do in case you are feeling sick or unfit to fly before or during your rotation. Don't be the hero of the situation. We want you all in one piece. We want you to feel good and to feel healthy. It can be a very hard job sometimes. So, as I said, if there is something wrong that you do not feel completely great, please do speak with your crew and speak with your company, and they will certainly take care of you. That's all for today. If you have any questions about private jets, flight attendant life, and the corporate aviation industry, please feel free to ask. I will be very happy to answer all of your questions. So ciao for now and baci baci!